Imagine being a man, lonely and failing at life, telling other men don't get married because you want someone to be miserable with you. Because you know if they get married, they go further. You know when they go married, they have more favor than you. So now you don't want him to surpass you.
Welcome back or welcome to Uncle ABL. And in today's video, we're talking about a very interesting clip from a young lady by the name of Six the Goddess on the 3 Milli podcast. Now, before we get into her take on marriage that I disagree with, I just want to say I like Six. I think she's beautiful, 6 foot tall, perfect skin tone, the body all natural, the top, the bottom, the front, the back, everything is on point physically. And I think she's funny. She has some good takes sometimes, but this take right here, I disagree with. And you know, the reason why I think she said this is because she's looking at marriage from a woman's point of view. She does not understand what men have to go through in order to get married, to stay married. And she has no clue what happens to us during divorce. Okay, I done been there. A lot of you guys have been there. I've heard some horror stories, some crazy stories that women will never, ever go through or quite understand for the most part. Now, before I go any further, let's get to the clip. Of course, I will link to this in the description if you want to see it and hear it without my commentary. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Crazy for a man to look an idiot. Imagine being a man, lonely and failing at life, telling other men don't get married because you want someone to be miserable with you. Because you know if they get married, they go further.
Let's pause for a minute. Now, I'm sorry I got to pause it, but I have to react to this right now. That's not the reason why we tell guys to not get married. And for the record, I'm not going to tell you don't get married. I don't really recommend it. And if you're going to get married, you got to do a lot of things before you jump into it. And the most important thing would be become educated about what you're doing with yourself. Become educated about the pros and the cons. If it lasts forever or if it doesn't, become educated and then, okay, maybe go out there and do something, but not until then.
You know when they go married, they have more favor than you. So now you don't want him to surpass you. So now we got these girls with these boyfriends and he will not marry him. And that's why every 5 years, women have to change the way they date. So 5 years ago, you could meet a man and exclusively date him until he married you because you knew he eventually would. You can't do that anymore.
You had time.
You better have your roster.
Now, a roster, if you guys don't understand what she's saying, basically she's saying to the women, have a bunch of men that you date. Let me tell you something about that, though. That usually does not work because it takes a certain kind of woman to be able to do it. Now, I'm not going to say what kind of woman that is, but if you know, you know. Let me put it to you like this, the whole roster thing. A woman will be, quote unquote, dating 4 or 5 guys. Now, 6 and other women will say, well, dating does not mean even going on dates. It doesn't mean having sex, but we all know at least 1 or 2 of these guys out of 4 or 5 she dates at once, she'll have sex with regularly. At least one guy. And you know what happens? That one guy that she has sex with out of the 4 or 5 that she dates, that's who she really wants. But he will not give her what she wants, which is commitment. So she has the other 4 guys to try and make up for him, but they're not going to be able to do it. So these other guys are getting led on. She's getting led on. And ain't nobody happy. So I don't think it's going to work for the majority of women.
You better have your roster. And you don't need a man on it for more than 90 days.
Ooh.
If 90 days go by and he's still, what you doing, beautiful? Bye. Block. You got 90 days. Show me something. We grown, especially when you're 30 and up.
Time is of the essence, man.
Oh, no. We 30.
So what do you want him to show you within 90 days? Well, we got to get married. I got to give you a promise ring. What do you want in 90 days?
30 and up. But that's why, I told women, have a roster and don't do in-person dates. If you meet a man, know what they're going to do? Oh, you want to have dinner tomorrow? No. We need to talk on the phone.
Yep.
Okay. And I said, we got to go back in the day, how you had to come sit in the living room. Okay.
I mean, I'm not against talking on the phone to begin with, like for the first introduction. So let's say, for example, you guys are on dating apps, things of this nature. Rather than going straight to the date, it should be a phone call or FaceTime, Snapchat, something like that, just to be able to talk to the person and kind of get to see, all right, are we on the same page already? Do we have a similar background, similar culture? Do we get along with each other from this initial interaction? That should be what you do before you go on a date, but that shouldn't be the extent of your relationship. A lot of women would disagree with Six. They'll say, well, I'm not looking for a pen pal. I'm not looking for a phone buddy. I want to actually meet up with the person and date in person. That's what they want. You go on a lot of these dating apps, it'll say it right there in the thing. I'm not trying to be your pen pal. Don't text me to death. Don't text me hello beautiful in the morning. Let's set up a date. In the prompt where it's on Hinge, on the prompt where it says, what's the best way to get me out? Just ask me out on the date. Let's set it up and take it from there. That's what they want. What she's saying is something totally different, but I digress.
Hey, I want to, back in the day, if a man want to come see me, you got to come to the living room, my mama, okay? And come talk to her. You had to call my phone, call the phone, the house phone, tell my mama and say, hey, Miss Nelson, can I talk to her? So I said, we need that buffer back.
So you got to talk to the mom. Where's the dad at? See, that's a problem right there. See, that right there is a problem. Your mom don't know nothing, the same as the way that you don't know nothing. Where's the dad at?
Social skills too, though. That takes social skills, having a call, ring the doorbell, talk to your mom, be personable, talk to the family.
Men will literally see a woman, not say shit and be like, y'all help me find her.
Well, you know why guys do that? Is because we have been told in a variety of ways for years now, not just a one-off incident here and there, a social media influencer, a movie. No. This has happened to guys. Guys have nearly had their lives ruined for trying to approach women in public. There was one guy who was not trying to approach a young lady, and he was accused of stalking her in the store. He wasn't even trying to talk to her. He was just minding his business. So we got the message. You know what? Don't worry about it. I'm not going to approach you in public. I don't want to intimidate you. I don't want to bother you. I don't want to do nothing. I will talk to you in a place where you're comfortable. You're cool with going to your Instagram and talking to people, but in the real world, you guys have told us to not approach you. So we are just doing what you said you want.
She was right there. It's crazy for a man.
All right, so that's a clip right there. Again, shout out to Six the Goddess. Yeah, beautiful woman. I think she's funny. She has a good social media presence and all that, but she just doesn't understand. She doesn't understand what men go through. Like, to go back to the whole divorce thing, I heard some of the craziest stories you would ever hear. Some things I can't even repeat. And it's not just young guys, it's older guys too. It's guys in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. You hear about guys who've been married 30 years to their wife. They got kids, grandkids, the whole thing. And the wife just says, okay, I'm done. Let's cash out this house and your retirement and your pension. Here you are, 65 years old, been married since you've been in your early 20s with your high school sweetheart. You thinking everything's okay. And before you know it, everything you worked your whole life for and sacrificed for is gone. Just like that. Your house, your pension. You may be going from living in a home with your family to homeless overnight. Some are going to say, well, look, ABL, why are you worried about divorce? Why are you worried about your money being taken away? Most of y'all are broke. You don't have anything. Actually, it's worse when a broke guy gets divorced, because Jeff Bezos, let's talk about him. If he loses, for example, I don't know how much he lost in this divorce. If he loses $200 billion with a B, $200 billion, he still has hundreds of billions of dollars more. His lifestyle will not change at all. Nothing will change for him except for having that wife right there. The rest of everything else will be the exact same. Now, a regular normie, a regular guy, regular Joe just working every day, if he loses $5,000, matter of fact, $2,000, that could be how he goes from having a home, having a car, having everything pretty much in order to being homeless. Homeless. It's crazy. And then if you got kids, now you got to try to pay child support. You got guys that get locked up behind that if they can't pay their child support payments because they were broke because of the divorce. I mean, it's so many things you got to pay for if you get divorced. If you got a lot of money, especially, lawyer for yourself, maybe a lawyer for her, but definitely for you. You have a house. Did you pay for it? Okay, well, go ahead and sell that and split the equity. Yeah, so now where are you going to live? Who knows? And she needs the equity. She needs alimony. She needs spousal support, child support, lawyer, all these expenses. Plus, you got to find a brand new place to live. You got to do so many different things. If the cost is crazy. Plus, the emotional wear and tear. You get married for your life, for your whole life, and now you're kind of lost. Do you see your kids? It's crazy what men go through, but women don't get it. From her point of view, as I close, she's describing the basic male-female dynamic. Men control relationships. Women control the sex. They feel like I'm giving sex, and I'm not getting the marriage. Therefore, it's something wrong with men. It's something wrong with what they're being told. Oh, I know why. Because men don't want other men to succeed and go beyond them. That's not what men do, really. Men don't. That's kind of what women do. Again, this is her seeing it from her point of view. But you got to step outside of your shoes, Six, and look at it from our point of view. Okay? A lot of us desire to get married. You want to have kids, a family, the whole 9 yards. But we see the numbers and we see our friends and family go through crazy things. We don't want to get wrapped up in it. So that's why we avoid it. That's why. We're not trying to tell guys to be careful or avoid marriage because we want them to just stay on a lower place. No, we want them to succeed and do well in life. We don't want these guys to become homeless and put a gun to their head because the wife done left them. For the Tom Brady got left for a jiu-jitsu instructor. We don't want that to happen to our friends and family and everybody else. But that's pretty much all I got. Whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that is all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.